Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of What's Driving Token Prices. I'm your host, Katie Talati, Director of Research at Arca. For those joining us for the first time, I'm responsible for identifying and analyzing digital asset and blockchain opportunities for Arca's funds. As part of our research, my team and I examine token prices and the catalysts and the market events that act as catalysts for price change. Based on our research and market events over the past week, here are some notable token price movements and what we think drove these moves. As a reminder, this commentary is not intended to be investment advice, investment research, or an investment recommendation. Please consult your investment professional for your own circumstances. Well, guys, welcome to another week. It has definitely been a little bit slower. We got some news, I think, this morning that Genesis, as part of its bankruptcy, was going to be redeeming its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust shares from the trust directly. However, not for cash, for Bitcoin to be delivered in kind. So that is kind of one thing that's winding down from that bankruptcy. We've also obviously seen Bitcoin crack $50,000. First happened Monday, then it kind of retraced yesterday, and now we're back up again today. So hope everyone's ready. There's been a ton of inflows into the ETFs highlighted starting Monday. People are really starting to see the impact that this product has on the market. So some good stuff. I'm here though to talk about some specific tokens for this week. So we will get started. So first I'm going to talk about PlayDAP. So PlayDAP is a Web3 gaming project. They suffered an exploit this past week, causing a loss of about $290 million worth of their PLA tokens. So the exploiter, what they did is they actually gained access to PlayDAP's minting contract for new tokens, and they were able to create about 200 million PLA tokens. So they first did that. The PlayDAP team messaged the hacker saying, hey, we'll give you $1 million bounty if you return these tokens and let us know about the exploit. Instead of responding, though, the hacker just went and minted an additional 240 million tokens, which were then valued at about $1.59 billion. And they began sending these tokens to crypto exchanges in order to liquidate the assets. And so for context, the circulating supply of PLA before the exploit was about 570 million tokens. And so liquidating such a large amount of tokens was going to be kind of impossible. They basically had like 700 million. They basically minted about 700 million new tokens when there are only 570 in existence already. So yesterday, the team ended up announcing that they're going to be pausing the PLA contract as they're going to facilitate a snapshot and a token migration to strip the exploiter of their tokens. Despite this, though, the exploiter did manage to get away and sell a bunch of tokens, and PLA is down 18% on the week. All right, next we're going to talk about SUSHI. So yesterday, DeFi project SUSHI announced that it's planned to release a decentralized derivatives exchange on Layer N called SUSA. So the idea is that Layer N is the super fast processing Layer 2 rollup on Ethereum. And so it should be able to kind of handle the needs of a decentralized DEX more effectively. Kind of the big like honeypot that all these decentralized derivative DEXs are trying to attain is the idea of an on-chain order book, which would prevent front running. It would make the product more efficient, but it's really hard to do because just even the faster L2s, they just don't scale fast enough to make that possible. So this would be super cool if it actually works out. And SUSE is aiming to kind of offer that on-chain order book feature and compete with centralized exchanges. Big thing is we're just not going to know if this is proven because neither of these projects have launched. So we will keep waiting. SUSE should be coming soon. Layer N will be coming sooner as it's running on those rails. But SUSHI is up 8.9% for the week. All right, next we're going to talk about Render. So Render is a DePIN project focused on offering decentralized GPUs. They were up about 12% this last week after an improvement proposal passed via a governance vote to onboard Nosana, which is another Solana DePIN focused project. They're focused on streamlining building, deploying, and monetizing AI applications. So this is important because Render historically has been kind of just more focused on graphical rendering and compute and other consumer use cases. But this partnership should really intertwine it with actually offering kind of more AI specific services and apps. So definitely a great partnership to grow Render overall. It is up 12% on this news. And last but not least, I'm going to be talking about ETH a little for you guys today. So, last week, the Ethereum developers, if you haven't been following, they announced the next hard fork, which is called Denkun, is scheduled for March 13th. So, this is pretty interesting. So, the Denkun upgrade introduces something called proto-dank sharding, and it's going to make transactions for layer 2 protocols about 5 times cheaper. So, why is this important? So right now, even though we have these layer 2 protocols, Arbitrum, Optimism, Polygon, things like Layer N that haven't launched yet. A lot of them, they're still, even though the transactions are considerably cheaper than Ethereum. I don't know if you transacted on Ethereum. Fees can be anywhere from $20 to $100 depending on what you're doing and what time you're trying to execute. But the idea here would be that, and so now they're down to quite a bit less, but they're still kind of high, especially if you're trying to do micro payments, microtransactions, anything like that. So proto-dank sharding is a really big deal because it's going to be bringing down overall fees for these layer twos. And we don't know the exact kind of the estimates have been 2 to 10 times cheaper. I said 5 times because we're somewhere in the middle there. But again, this should really help value proposition of layer twos and assist in their ability to grow/scale. Another big thing for Ethereum this week that's really been helping its price is on Monday, asset manager Franklin Templeton filed their application for an Ethereum ETF. So this has obviously garnered a lot of excitement in the market. A lot of folks are really watching ETH spot ETF as kind of the next market catalyst. They believe this will be the next product to be approved by the SEC. That is obviously still out in the open. We don't really know. With Bitcoin, there were many filing deadlines and kind of things we had to get through. So this one could be another 6 to 9 month journey, depending on how the SEC wants to approach approving an ETF for Ethereum. Only time will tell. But in the meantime, Ethereum's up 13.6% for the week. All right, that's all I have for you guys this week. I hope you enjoyed our insights. Tune in here again next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific to hear what's driving token prices.